Good day, everyone, especially to Doc John Ray M. Esparar. My task is to discuss about the inquiry-based approach and reflective approach. But first, I have to discuss the inquiry-based approach. So, presented by Sola Elizabeth L. Okay, the terminal objectives. At the end of the session, the participants are expected to design and implement inquiry-based learning activities that promote student engagement, critical thinking, and real-world application in various subject areas. Enabling objectives. Define the inquiry-based learning and its key characteristics. Develop inquiry-based learning questions that are relevant, challenging, and open-ended. Value the importance of student-centered learning and active engagement. So before I will start my topic, I have here a picture. So my insights about this picture is the image shows a young child seemingly of African descent with a thoughtful expression. So they are positioned against a dark background which appears to be a chalkboard filled with numerous question marks drawn in the white chalk. So above the child's head is a brightly light bulb also drawn in the white dark zone. The overall impression is one of curiosity, questioning, and the pursuit of knowledge or understanding. So the light bulb symbolizes an idea or a moment of insight. So while the multitude of question marks represent many unanswered questions the child may have. So the image is likely intended to represent the inquisitive nature of children and their eagerness to learn. Okay, so the child is marami siyang mga pagtatanong sa kanyang isipan. Okay, the next picture is the students collaborating each other and sharing their ideas. Inquiry-based approach to learning is a student-centered method of learning where students actively engage in the process of exploring questions, gathering information, analyzing data, and constructing their own understanding. It's a shift from traditional teacher-led instruction to a more independent and investigative style of learning. So inquiry-based learning, it includes the question where, when, why, what, who, and how. So, from the word inquiry, so may maraming mga pagtatanong. Okay, so there are key characteristics. First, the student-driven. Okay, student-driven. Students are encouraged to ask questions, formulate hypotheses, and design their own investigation. Next is a problem-based. So here in a problem-based, learning is often initiated through problem, challenge, or a real-world scenario that spark curiosity. Next is collaborative. Students work together to gather information, share ideas, and build upon each other's knowledge. Next is process-oriented. In the process-oriented, the focus is on the process of inquiry, not just on arriving at predetermined answers. And last is reflective. Here in reflective, students are encouraged to reflect on their learning process, evaluate their findings, and revise their understanding. For example, the topic is about the effect of pollution on water quality. Okay, so the inquiry question, how does pollution affect the quality of water in our local river? So, the students brainstorm questions about water pollution and its effect on the environment. So, students gather information from various sources like books, internet, and other sources about different types of water pollution and their impact. So students design and conduct experiments to test the effects of different pollutants on water quality. So students analyze their data, draw conclusions, and present their findings in a report or presentation. So students reflect on their learning journey, discuss the implications of their findings for the local community, and propose solutions to reduce water pollution. So that is one of the example of inquiry-based approach. So the topic is about the effect of pollution on water quality. So that is the inquiry question. So how does pollution affect the quality of water in our local river? From the word inquiry, so pagtatanong. Okay, so there are implications for K-12 education. So first is increased engagement. So in inquiry-based learning fosters student engagement and motivation by making learning relevant and personally meaningful. So development of critical thinking skills. So students learn to ask questions, analyze information, solve problems, and make informed decisions. And the third is enhance creativity and innovation. Inquiry-based learning encourages students to think outside the box, explore different perspectives, and come up with creative solutions. Okay. Fourth is real-world application. So students learn to apply their knowledge to real-world problems, preparing them for future challenges. And the last is collaborative learning. So students develop teamwork, communication, and problem-solving skills through collaborative inquiry. Okay. For the conclusion, the inquiry-based approach offers a powerful alternative to traditional teaching methods, promoting deeper learning, critical thinking, and student engagement. While it presents challenges, the potential benefits for K-12 education are significant. So by embracing inquiry-based learning, we can empower students to become active learners, critical thinkers, and responsible citizens. Okay, so before I end the inquiry-based approach, so I have here a quote. The important thing is not to stop questioning. So curiosity has its own reason for existing. So by Albert Einstein. So this quote is repeated because it so perfectly encapsulates the spirit of inquiry. So the next topic is reflective approach. Okay, the terminal objectives. At the end of the session, the participants are expected to design and implement reflective learning activities that promote student self-awareness, critical thinking, and personal growth in various areas. The enabling objectives define reflective learning and its key characteristics. Develop reflective learning activities that are engaging and meaningful for students. Value the importance of self-reflection and personal growth. Okay, so reflective approach to learning. The reflective approach to learning encourages students to actively think about their learning process, analyze their experiences, and make connections between their learning and their own lives. It's about going beyond simply observing information and delving into deeper understanding and personal meaning. Okay, so there are key characteristics. First is the metacognition. So here in metacognition, students are encouraged to think about their thinking, becoming aware of their learning strategies, strengths, and weaknesses. The second is the self-assessment. Okay, self-assessment. Here is self-assessment. So the students reflect on their own learning, identifying areas where they need improvement, and setting goals for future learning. Next is connecting to prior knowledge. Okay, so connecting to prior knowledge, here is students make connection between new information and their existing knowledge, building a deeper understanding of the subject matter. Next, here in personal meaning. In personal meaning, so the students explore how what their learning relates to their own lives, experiences, and values. Okay, so last is the action-oriented. Action-oriented reflection often leads to action. So as students, identifying areas where they can apply their learning or make changes in their behavior. Okay, for example, the topic is about the American Civil War. Okay, so their reflective activity. So after studying the causes and consequences of the American Civil War, students are asked to write journal entry from perspective of a person living during that time. So they might be a soldier, a farmer, or a family member reflecting on the impact on the Civil War on their life. Okay, so the students write a journal entry expressing their thoughts, feelings, and observations about the war. So another example is yung mga binibigay sa atin ng mga article na i-reflect natin siya. So one of the example of the reflective is basahin mo yung article tapos i-reflect mo siya kung ano yung nasa article and i-relate mo siya sa iyong sarili. Okay, so that is one of the example of reflective approach. Okay, so there are implications for K-12 education. First is deeper understanding. So reflection helps students connect concepts, make sense of information, and develop a deeper understanding of the subject matter. The second one is increased motivation. Reflecting on their learning helps students see the relevance and value of what they're learning, increasing their motivation and engagement. And the third is the self-awareness and growth. Reflection fosters self-awareness, allowing students to identify their strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement. And the fourth is problem solving and decision making. Reflection helps students analyze situations, consider different perspectives, and make informed decisions. And the last is personal growth. So reflection encourages students to connect their learning to their own lives, values, and goals, promoting personal growth and development. Okay, so for the conclusion, the reflective approach to learning is a valuable tool for fostering deeper understanding, critical thinking, and personal growth in K-12 education. By incorporating reflective activities into the curriculum, educators can empower students to become more active and engaged learners capable of applying their knowledge to real-world situations and making meaningful connections with their learning. Okay, so before I end the reflective approach, so I have here a quote. The quote is, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing," by Socrates. So, okay, this quote highlights the humility and open-mindedness that are necessary for reflection. And that's all. Thank you.